Hello, this is Jenny Spinner. I am chief editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I'm here with Liz.
Liz Parker Kuhn, senior editor.
And once again, the producers of the snack and bakery industry came up with tons of fun, innovative, some worthy products for us to talk about. And as we've said before, we're not talking about necessarily the best products. This isn't a review thing, but these are products that are especially on trend, different, um, fun, weird. But let's get into it, shall we? My first product is a snack product. Wonderful pistachios. They put, salt and vinegar, tangy chili, sweet chili. And their latest iteration is dill pickle. Dill pickle's having a moment. It's on everything from cupcakes, that's one of the weirder ones, to Hippies, chickpea puffs, partnership with Grillo. And now these. Liz, have you had a chance to try these?
I have not, but
Oh,
I agree with you that pickle is on everything
mhm.
nowadays. Not just pizza. I've always liked done pizza. People think I'm
Yeah.
weird for that though. But I bet it will do well with consumers since it's such a trending flavor right now.
Yeah, and Wonderful Pistachios is one of those snacks that my grocery stores in Chicago, you can find them in the snack nut section, but also sometimes on standees in the produce section. So with that unique positioning, with that unique flavor that's having a moment, I think it'll do well too. Liz, what's your first product?
My first product is Subway. They did a Doritos footlong nachos, nacho dish kind of. And I got the press release about this, and then I saw some of my Facebook friends posting about it, and they're like, "We got to go to Subway and get this." So it's the first time I've seen nachos, Subway doing nachos, but positioning it like with their footlong branded type items makes sense because it's basically just like a long little plate, kind of like a curved plate with nachos and all the toppings on it.
Yeah, it's I think and by the way, my cat has decided to join us. He doesn't have opinions about the snacks. He
It's
just
like
wants
help.
cuddles. So please forgive the intrusion. When foot traffic is down in restaurants, whether it's quick service or casual places like Red Robin, they're looking for ways to get people in the door. And Subway has, with the foot long cookie, I remember friends talking about that, and it's like, that's weird. What is that? How many calories? Don't look it up. Don't look it up how many before you eat it. But the fun format of a cookie, which everybody's familiar with, got people in the door. So they've extended it to a few other things, including this foot. It's a trough of nachos. It's
Basically.
it turns out it's pretty narrow, so it's a lot of nachos, but it's not like call your friends, call your neighbors for help eating it. But just it's a little ridiculous how like it looks like a meal for a family, but it's a fun new format. So Subway, well done. Whoever came up with the foot long explosion, give them a raise. So if you've watched any of our previous new product spotlights, you know that Liz and I both love collabs, collaborations between brands, whether or it's oh, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo has had a couple of collaborations with their Jack Link's jerky products that are under their stable. This is Pringles and Miller Lite. So, excuse me, Kellanova and Anheuser-Busch collaborating on some beer-themed crisps. Beer can chicken and grilled beer brat. Um, if you're of the Midwest, especially, you know that before you put your brats on the grill, you steam them in a little beer or you steam them in a pan on the grill. And these chips, or excuse me, crisps, which I have not gotten my hands on yet, um, is another example of a snack that, I mean, we heard about it first, but then before Liz and I talked about it on the website, I had friends posting about it because snack bloggers they get wind of stuff before it comes out, and they were talking about it. So the social buzz before the release of these things indicates that it has a pretty good chance of making it.
Yeah, I haven't seen these either. I don't grocery shop that often, like every
Yeah,
couple weeks. So I haven't really been looking, to be fair, but I follow like Snackalator and a few of the foodie
Mhm.
Instagrammers, and I remember they posted about that. So I was like, oh, that looks interesting. But I think Pringles is positioning it for summer, so like spring, summer.
Makes
So it
sense.
should be out soon, I would
Yeah,
think.
and um beer flavored chips sound a little bit strange, but one, these are beer and another flavor, beer and brat, beer and chicken. But if you are a fan of Asian snacks, like I am, and you go to Super H Mart, there are several brands of beer chips. That's a pretty common sight. So um I think that it has a good chance here. Oh, Liz, it's your turn.
Yep. My next product. So most people have heard of edible arrangements. They go by edible now, which is kind of funny. But they had a team up also with Tahin to do spicy products, and I've been very spoiled with edible because they sent me these, and by sent I mean someone delivered them to my house from a local store. And then
Mhm.
yesterday they sent me more, so I've had fruit all day to eat.
That's
Um,
great.
but this was with Tahin, which is spicy, and I personally can't do spicy, but I taste tested this with my mom and she liked it. And it was like pineapple with tahini on it and like little cheesecakes with tahini and like everything you'd expect from edible, basically. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I've been seeing tahini a lot. I just got a sample of some plantain chips with
Oh,
tahini, but
nice.
usually it's like a sweet spicy combo. This is the first time I've seen it on fruit, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm in Chicago and I'm lucky enough to be the corner of Clark and Morse. There's a gentleman named Victor. He works at Whole Foods, but then he has his own fruit cart. And eating street food sounds like a risky prospect, but if you watch him and his crew clean up, they're constantly cleaning this fruit cart, and it's amazing to watch how expertly, quickly, and neatly they cut up everything from a mango. If you ever try to cut a mango, you know how hard that is, but they do it like it's an art. And some of the things that you can get all sorts of fruit, but my favorite thing is Victor grinds his own spices. It's like tahini, but he grinds his own spices and he can sprinkle that on your fruit. He has a chamoy sauce that is a blend of those dry spices with some hot sauce, and he puts that on there. So I am used to spicy fruit because I've been living in this neighborhood for about 10 years and I've been going to get his fruit. I'm digging it right now, actually, that we've been talking about it. But yeah, it's really neat to see Latino flavors come in on everything and the sweet, spicy stuff on something as widely known as edible. Definitely check that out. Or if you don't have an edible arrangement, excuse me, edible, no more arrangements. If you don't have that near you, I highly recommend just like cutting up some fruit and sprinkling tahini on it because that combination of the spice and I think there's citric acid in it. So it adds a little bit more tang in that. And if you're trying to lose weight and I'm like trying to eat good sugar, and fruit is just boring to you, this could make it a little more exciting to you. So um oh no, the Kardashians have entered the chat. Um, so Liz and I got the release about this Khloe Kardashian Cloud, KHLOUD popcorn. It's protein popcorn. It's in the seasoning. Um, and I think it was either that morning or soon after. One of my contacts on LinkedIn just had a conniption. It's like, "Ugh, popcorn and everything, and the Kardashians are everywhere." And it's just like this several paragraph boomer like meltdown about how they're so sick of seeing popcorn everywhere, and the Kardashians are everywhere, and ugh. um, well, I mean, for better or for worse, the Kardashians are not going anywhere. I think is the TV show even on anymore? I don't know, but they're
I don't know.
entrepreneurs. Everything from like makeup to shapewear. Is that Skims? I don't know. I don't.
Something.
I'm not keeping up with any of the Kardashians beyond what they do in the snack space. But protein isn't everything because I'm being told I need to get more, like nobody's getting enough protein in their diet, especially if you're active. And I've been working out and stuff. So, um, I'm trying to get protein wherever I can. So I would, if this landed in my lap, I would definitely eat it. But I appreciate a little bit boost of protein. I'm still not sure how Fairlife gets 30 grams of protein into that little bottle. Um, and I meant to look at the back of the package when I was at the store the other day to see exactly how much protein is in here. Um,
Uh, I should have
yeah.
done that. They sent me samples. I have not tried them. My mom really loves popcorn, so I usually send them to her house and then we'll share them at some point.
Yeah.
But the Kardashians definitely have like a pretty huge empire, so I guess it makes sense to expand to snacks. I've never watched the TV show. I feel like I'm one of the few, but Kim Kardashian did speak at a blogging conference I was at a few years ago,
Oh,
which was kind of
interesting.
interesting. Half the people were very for it and half the people were very against it.
Yeah.
But she is an entrepreneur, so that's why she was speaking. So yeah, I'd be curious. I think people are always talking about like getting more protein. So between that and the celebrity connection, it should do well,
Yeah, or
I would
people will
think.
just be like, go to Target and just knock the display down out of fury with the Kardashians. Um,
Hopefully not. Well,
7 grams of protein per serving, so it's not like an earth-shattering amount, but more than
not terrible.
popcorn typically has.
Yeah, not terrible.
Let's stop talking
My
about the
next,
Kardashians now. I'm
well, to
done.
pivot, my next product is Pizza Hut pepperoni flavored caviar. So it's pepperoni flavored water and agar based caviar style pearls. Agar, I never know how to say that. So it is fish free. It's just like it's like simulating caviar. So I
Mhm.
thought that was interesting because I don't consider Pizza Hut to be like a particularly like luxury brand. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm craving gourmet pizza. Let's go to Pizza Hut. But I thought it was an interesting way to try to elevate the brand.
Yeah, it's a really fun tie-in. I'm not a fan of fishy caviar.
Same.
I'm a nerd. It's kind of like uncool not to like raw fish sushi, but I discovered a few years ago there's plenty of other sushi that's either has cooked fish or no fish. So um I wonder because would it be like more like boba, like pepperoni flavored boba? Gross.
Yeah. Well,
Um
it kind of looked like that in the picture. It looked like very small, like almost like popping boba
yeah. I mean caviar, that's what
pearls.
caviar is. It basically looks like tiny little boba, but it's I don't the point of the product is not to get rich off of it. It's to get people talking about it like we are, to elevate the Pizza Hut name, the brand, to get people thinking about ordering pizza. Which I tend to make pizza. Uh I I I'm not as good a baker as, say, our group publisher Doug Peckinpah is, but I've perfected my pizza crust, so I order a lot less than I used to. Um, would I eat this caviar? Again, if somebody gave it to me, I would try it. But yeah, that's a fun bakery chain. I mean, Pizza Hut bakes pizzas, so fun way to elevate a bakery related brand. My next thing is not a bakery, it's a snack. So Cars, Second Nature owns so many brands, and Cars is their nut and snack mix thing. And they partnered another collab with Dunkin for some coffee drink inspired snack mixes. Which is when I was a kid, trail mixes were supposed to be healthy and you ate them when you were they're called trail mixes because you ate them while you were hiking. And now we're just like throwing that out the window and having things that have nuts, so there's protein and content and stuff like that, but bits of chocolate and M&Ms, things like that. This is I haven't tried it yet, but the flavors are inspired by coffee drinks, and that's I go to Dunkin' more often to get the drinks now than I think I do the donuts. Well, that's about 50-50. But yeah, it's a fun brand collab. The flavors seem fun, notable. And then with the Dunkin's pink and orange branded colors, would that cause people to reach for the car snack mixes on the shelf more often? Remains to be seen.
So I picked this up at NCA, Second Nature brand, which I'm a big fan of, but I kind of have to be because I'm from the Detroit area,
Oh yeah.
and they're known for like Sanders. chocolates and other brands. And I got to visit Cars a few years ago, I think, because they're literally down the street from me.
Yeah.
So they had a table at NCA. NCA has lots of little tables where you can just pick up snacks, or if you
Mhm.
are Hershey, they have like an entire like booth basically. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen this one yet. And I didn't realize it wasn't out yet. I actually haven't eaten it yet, so I should have brought it for show and tell. But
Nice.
it is very like pink, like the pink
Mhm.
Dunkin'. And I think there was a coffee flavor, and I think there was a donut flavor. So I think I grabbed the donut
Oh,
one
okay.
because
Yeah.
I don't like coffee. But I thought it was really interesting. I was like, oh, like they're, partnering up with a big, like recognizable brand. So I think if you're a Cars fan or if you are a Dunkin' fan, people will
Mhm.
probably flock to it.
Yeah, it'll be big in Boston, because you
Yeah.
probably know people in Boston have like Dunkin' themed weddings. So I predict it'll go crazy in Boston. Oh, and look, another collab. Well, this is a collaboration, but it's a collaboration with Utz, the potato chip people. Well, they're a lot more than potato chips, but this is Utz Chips partnering with Alex's Lemonade Stand. It's an organization that's been around for a few years that raises funds through products. You could actually sign up and have a lemonade stand in your yard to benefit them. But this is lemonade flavored potato chips. What? Sounds crazy. I have tried them, and they were thank you, Utz, for the extra pounds I'm carrying around. They sent me 3 bags, shared two, ate my own, and it's not super sweet. It's also not super tart. It's just like a little bit of the lemon flavor with a little bit of tartness, a little bit of sweetness. And I was a big fan. I'm pointing up. I'm not pointing to God. God loves these chips. I'm on the first floor. The second floor, my neighbors Becca and John love them. So, if more came to my house, they would gladly take them off my hands. I think this is a notable product because unexpected flavor, fun collab. The charity aspect is really nice. So, eating salty snacks, uh, and benefiting childhood cancer research is a fun
Yeah.
combo.
I thought this was an interesting one because I remember a few years ago Cape Cod had like a lemon and like black pepper chip or something like that,
Hmm.
but I've never seen like a lemonade flavor chips. And again, I saw this one all over Instagram. Like I think we had just written about it and then it was all over Instagram,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Um, in terms of sweet chips, I'm trying to think. Every once in a while, you'll see sweet potato chips with like cinnamon sugar, especially around the
Oh,
holiday.
yep.
Um,
Jackson's, do they do that? Maybe.
I think they did. They might have. I know I've seen private label Aldi's Clancy's. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Oh, yep.
I've seen it there. Um, but yeah, it's sweet potato chips that makes a little bit more sense because sweet potato,
Yeah.
if you are grew up in the Spinner family, sweet potato with marshmallow on top at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Texas Roadhouse does that
yeah.
too. It's really
And
good.
I've seen chocolate covered potato chips in Sanders, who we'll probably run into at
Oh,
Sweet
yep.
Snacks later this month or next week.
Ooh,
Out.
yep.
Um, they have bars with potato chips in them and things like that, but lemon is an unexpected flavor. Um, oh no, more protein. Speaking of high protein, protein and everything. Um, Thomas's, which is a Bimbo brand, high protein bagels. We've seen a couple of brands, Better Bagel.
Yep.
My old lady memory is failing me. I know there's a couple of other brands that are best known for being protein forward, and this isn't a good example of a brand that's been out there a bit, coming up with something that's on trend, high protein. I have not gotten my face around these, but some high protein rich breads, the texture I find the texture a little bit off. So I am very interested in seeing how Thomas has handled that. Um, the protein content is pretty awesome if you're looking at boost your protein content, but will the texture be up to standards for discerning consumers?
I'm actually not sure if I've ever had protein bagels. I feel like I've gotten samples of them before, but again, my parents like bagels, so I usually pass them off to them. And I like bagels too, but I don't eat like frozen bagels so much. But yeah, that would be interesting, like to see if the texture is different than a regular bagel.
Yeah, I have Better Brand, which is still around. They're pretty good. I definitely I didn't pawn them off on other people because I like them. Unbelievable buns. I don't know if they have a bagel though. Um, but yeah, put protein in everything. I'm a fan. Oh, Liz has another thing to share. We have a couple
Yes, I
more.
have
We're
a
getting there.
product and an experience to share. So my next one is BJ's Restaurant Brew House. They're all over the country, I believe, and we have a few in this area. So they came out with something called the Pizookie Platter. So if you're familiar with the restaurant, they have something called a Pizookie. It generally feeds like 2 to 3 people, and it's like a pretty tasty dessert. It's basically like a cookie pie. They have
It's
different
pizza cookie.
flavors. Pizza cookie, yeah,
Yeah.
but minus the pizza. But pizza shaped cookie. And they'll put like, they'll put ice cream on top usually. So they invited me in, and I said for the Pizookie platter, and I said, "What is a Pizookie platter?" And they said it's basically a gigantic Pizookie. And what I learned later is that it was released before COVID, and then kind of shelved for a bit, which makes sense because you
Oh
don't really want to
yeah.
be
You don't
sharing
want to be
spoons
eating
and
with like tons
whatnot.
of people. Yeah.
Um, so I don't have TikTok, so it limits how much I can see. But I started watching these TikTok videos about it and Instagram videos, and everyone's like, it. What's funny is it feeds up to 8 people, but there's always just 2 people like valiantly trying to get. So we had a group of let's see, 4 people, and we did a pretty good job with it. And then eventually we just started eating the ice cream because you can't really take the ice cream home. But
No.
it was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like 4 different Pizookies. So there was 4 of us. So we each got to choose like our own Pizookie flavor, and they kind of
Mhm.
just stitch it together. And I said to them, "Has it been selling well? Like, how's it going?" And they said, "Well, you're the first person to order it, actually,
Oh,
because it's a
nice.
secret menu item. Like, you just have to know
Oh,
about it." So I thought
okay.
that was really interesting. And it's definitely been doing well on like TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, that's I was just talking about secret menu stuff because you will find Potbelly. Do you have Potbelly in
We
your
have that. Yep.
Yeah, Potbelly has secret menu things like a cheeseburger
Oh,
sub, which is
I didn't know that.
basically a meatball sub, but without the sauce. And then they put the typical
Oh.
toppings of a cheeseburger on top of the cheese, the pickle, and all that other stuff. I am also not on TikTok, but I find that I'm on Instagram, and a lot of times people will take their TikToks and share them as a reel, or
Yep.
somebody
That's
will
how I
pick
get
up
them.
something and share it onto Instagram. And I am not blessed enough to have BJ's Brewhouse in Chicago. But I was listening to one of my podcasts. I listened to way too many podcasts, and I think it was "Why Won't You Date Me" with Nicole Byer. Um, the her guest was East Coaster or Midwestern or somebody, and they were talking about the Pizookie. I heard the word Pizookie, and my ears picked up. I'm a big fan of stunt food. I know. There's none of that stuff around here. If you finish this amazing dish within half an hour, you get a t-shirt or something like that. But they used to have a deal at Buffalo Wild Wings where if you finished a whole serving
Oh,
of
I
like
remember
their
that.
hottest wings within a
Yep.
certain time, you got your picture on the wall and a t-shirt. But
Yep.
it turns out you eat less spicy stuff. Because I used to eat like crazy spicy stuff, but I'm not as crazy as I used to be. My tolerance for hot stuff has gone down, so I can no longer handle blazing wings. So if I want a Buffalo Wild Wings shirt, I'm gonna have to buy it. Um, my next thing is so this is technically not a new product. It's a returning product, but and we talked about in this one of our new product spotlights is Pepperidge Farm Milano cookies. Two shortbread cookies with a thin layer of chocolate usually. I'm a fan of the dark chocolate ones between it. And a year ago, they came out with Milano London Fog, which is kind of like Earl Grey flavored. It's got the bergamot and vanilla cream in it. So they kind of like sometimes people dunk their cookies in tea. This puts the tea in the cookie. And I was a fan of just the idea, and the cookies were pretty good. I had when I shared it on my social media, my friends went crazy. So my minor consumer study indicated that it would do well, and it did well enough that they're bringing it back for a limited time again. No word on plans to make it permanent, but um, I always like to see when a product that I, as a consumer, am a fan of, definitely a fan of it as a snack journalist, comes back. Yay.
Yeah, that's always interesting. Was that the one that Hannah Waddingham was promoting? I believe Ted Lasso star.
Yes, Ted Lasso star, and if you've been to the movies lately and seen the Mission Impossible 92 or whatever number they're on, she's like kicking butt in that movie. So I'm quite excited about that. She's not eating cookies in the movie, but
That'd be a fun tie-in. But yeah, I still have not tried these, but I'm curious too because like I like tea, so like a tea infused cookie or like a tea
Mhm.
flavor sounds interesting. But I feel like the Pepperidge Farm folks are always putting out new things, so it's interesting that they are bringing back a return flavor.
Yeah. We have one more product before we go.
Yep, my last product is another cookie. So Oreo, and I think I've said this before, I think they have like scientists that they just like lock in a room because like every single week they have a different new cookie flavor. But this was a LTO chocolate covered pretzel flavor, and I think it's the best Oreo I've ever had, not including
Really?
maybe the double stuff because I used to
Uh-huh.
eat those in college. But it was so in the press release, it said it was the brand's first sweet and salty flavor. I think you said it's not though, right? They had
I,
other ones.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a salted caramel one.
Okay.
Which they might, yeah, it might not have been salty enough to be considered a sweet savory
Yeah, like
combo. So
I
I'm not going
wonder
to fine them. I'm not going to throw a yellow card at Mondelez for this one.
I I
But
think maybe this is the first one that actually has salt like in the cookie because I am an Oreo heathen. I like to twist them apart and lick the inside out and then eat the cookies. And I think I'm not the only one who does this. There has to be other people who do this. But with this
gosh,
one, it you can't do that because you won't get all the flavors. So they sent me a package and it was gone very quickly because it was the cookie is like sweet and salty and then the inside is like a chocolate cream and it was really, really good. And I had some other people taste it and they agreed with me that it was really, really good. So this is a limited time one. So hopefully they'll bring it back at some point.
yeah, I think I mentioned it might have even been my product. Earlier in the year they had the Oreo Post Malone.
Yep.
Um,
I remember those.
which was kind of like the flavors of a millionaire bar. It's like the like cookie with caramel and other stuff. There's like two different flavored cookies with the like a swirly thing in the middle, and that was really fun. I'm trying to think. I'm an Oreo aficionado. What do you have an all-time favorite? We might as well like get a little consumery crazy about it. Is your favorite all-time flavor? What's your
Yes.
second?
So in college, like I feel like I wasn't allowed to eat Oreos because like I don't know, sugar or whatever
Oh
in
yeah,
high
me too.
school. So in college, my thing that I went a little crazy over was double stuff Oreos. So I still love
Mhm.
double stuff. I love, licking the cream first. But when during the pandemic, here's a fun Oreo story. During the pandemic, they released a tiramisu flavor, and I was like, that sounds excellent. And I
Yeah.
couldn't find it anywhere. I put it in a Kroger pickup order, and they
Mhm.
didn't have it. They were out of stock.
Oh.
And I wrote about it. And one of my friends, who's awesome, she was in the area, and she's like, "Go look at your door." And I opened the door, and there was a sandwich baggie with like four tiramisu cookies
Oh,
that she
that's
had dropped
awesome.
off because, COVID, no contact or anything. So that was great. And I thought those were really good. But I think this is, in terms of like non-standard flavors, I think this
Mhm.
is the best one I've had. How about you?
Well, I'm a big fan of stuff, and I had a friend who figured out scientifically that a double stuff is actually stuff and a half, and the mega stuff is really double stuff. But that's still not enough stuff for me. So, if they were to ever come out with just the stuff, like if Mondelez, feel free if you're listening, because I know some of you are. Please feel free to just sell the stuff in a jar, and I would be the happiest chubby girl in the world. But I think, and they've been. they've been really, since I started at Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, just that 2.5 year span, they've come out with some fun stuff. I think my favorite iteration is still the Space Dunk, which were conventional chocolate wafer cookie, and then a thin layer of pink and a thin layer of blue with popping candy in it.
Ooh, I think I
So it
remember
was
that.
special effects. The cream was marshmallow flavored and had a little bit of a different taste to it, which I very much enjoyed. But the popping candy, because I'm a fan of Pop Rocks. I like glow in the dark food. Is that safe? Well, no, did we talk about the Sour Patch Kids that glow under black light? Especially
No, because that's more of a candy, but those
it's a
are
candy thing,
fun. They
yeah.
gave me a little black light. I felt like a little scientist. I was
I
like,
know.
ooh, look.
It's so fun. But yeah, I am just Oreo is not afraid to have fun with stuff. So it's not just flavors that are expected. Chocolate. They have double chocolate. Oh, I do like the Oreo thins have a pistachio iteration, and I remember thinking that this would
Ooh,
be really good as a regular Oreo with like a ton
mm,
of the pistachio cream because like I said, the Oreo could not possibly have enough stuff for me. So, um, yeah, we've gone quite long talking about new products, and I could probably stay here all day, but I have work to do. I'd rather stay here and
same.
talk snacks and stuff with you, but um, yeah, I think we should probably end it here. So, producers, if you're listening, I know you're constantly coming up with new products, but if you've got something new that you think that we would like to talk about on this highlight reel next month, please feel free to email me at spinnerj@bnpmedia.com or Liz, who has the longest email
Yep.
in the world.
Let me see. No, I think Elisa's is longer.
Oh, right.
But
Okay.
mine is Parker Kuhn, so Kuhne at bnpmedia.com.
Yeah, we would love to talk about your new products, so send them along. But until next time, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you again next month.